Welcome back, our lovely listeners, to Building Better Vocabulary for Real IELTS Reading Practice. I am Brian, and this is my co-host, Lucy.
Always a pleasure to be here.
Today, we're diving into some fascinating vocabulary from customer reviews.
Yes.
And not just any customer reviews. These are specifically reviews about cafes
Cafes.
in the town of Artingly.
Sounds delicious already.
And these reviews are, like I was saying, they're really fascinating because they contain so much vocabulary that's relevant for anyone who is preparing for the IELTS exam.
Yeah, especially that reading section, right? You have to be able to understand this everyday language if you want to do well.
Absolutely. So that's why we're doing this deep dive today. We're going to unpack some of the most common words and phrases that you'll find in these reviews. And we'll also test your knowledge a little bit with some activities later on.
Yes.
And give you a glimpse of a real IELTS reading passage related to cafes.
It's all about making those connections.
Exactly. All right, so without further ado, let's jump right in.
Okay.
The first word that we're going to look at today is queue up.
Queue up.
So what does queue up mean?
Well, you'll notice it comes up quite often in these reviews, and it's a very British English term for lining up or forming a queue,
Yeah,
especially when you're waiting for something.
waiting for something.
Right, like at a cafe.
And it seems like the people of Artingly, they do a lot of queuing up,
They do.
especially at those really popular cafes.
Yes, some reviewers even mention waiting like 15 minutes or more just to order.
Really? Wow, that's dedication.
Yeah.
It makes you wonder what's so special about those cafes that people are willing to wait that long.
Well, maybe it has something to do with the next phrase on our list, which is coffee options.
Ah, coffee options.
Coffee options.
What are coffee options?
Well, simply put, it means all the different kinds of coffee drinks that you can get at a cafe.
The variety?
Yeah, the variety. And it seems like Artingly's cafes, they're really stepping up their game.
Yeah.
We see lots of mentions of like cold brew, pour over,
Oh, nice.
even matcha lattes.
Oh, that's fancy.
Fancy, yeah.
Sounds like a coffee lover's paradise.
Definitely.
But I can imagine with all those options, the lines might get pretty long.
Yeah, you might be squashed together with other coffee enthusiasts.
Oh, squashed together.
Squashed together.
That doesn't sound so fun.
Well, it depends on how you look at it, but it basically means being packed really tightly into a small space
Okay.
with very little room to move around.
Okay, so like sardines in a can.
Yes, exactly. And several reviewers use this phrase squashed together to describe their experience in some of the smaller cafes in Artingly.
Yeah.
You know, the ones where the tables are all really close together?
Uh-huh.
It gets a bit cozy.
Cozy. Some people might feel a little claustrophobic, though.
Some did, some found it charming, so it really depends on your personal preferences.
I see.
It's all part of the Artingly Cafe experience.
Okay, so some people might be put off by the long queues or the crowded spaces,
Yeah.
but others seem to embrace it
Right.
as part of the experience.
It's all reflected in their reviews.
It is. Okay, so let's move on to a phrase that describes a slightly less desirable scenario. Going elsewhere.
Going elsewhere.
So what does it mean to go elsewhere?
Basically means you choose to go to a different place, usually, because you're not happy with where you are currently.
Yeah, makes sense.
So in the context of these reviews,
Yeah.
we see this phrase pop up when customers are complaining about things like slow service or overpriced coffee, or maybe there weren't enough coffee options.
Not enough coffee options, yeah.
Right.
So they decide to take their business elsewhere.
Exactly. And it really highlights the importance of customer satisfaction for these businesses.
Yeah, even those small details can really make a difference.
Definitely. So let's shift gears a little bit and talk about a phrase that has a more positive feeling: welcoming atmosphere.
Welcoming atmosphere.
Welcoming atmosphere.
So what exactly does that mean?
A welcoming atmosphere describes a place that feels very friendly and inviting.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it makes you feel comfortable and at ease.
So like you want to stay there.
Exactly. And a lot of the reviewers, they praise certain cafes for having this welcoming atmosphere.
Yeah.
They mention things like friendly staff, cozy seating, soft lighting.
It sounds lovely.
Yeah, it does sound nice.
Yeah.
And some reviewers even mentioned that the local artwork contributed to this welcoming atmosphere.
Local artwork.
Local artwork.
What does that mean?
It refers to art that was created by artists from the Artingly area,
Okay.
and it's often displayed in public spaces like cafes.
So they're supporting local artists.
Yes,
Yeah,
exactly.
that's great.
And it adds a unique charm to the cafe experience.
Definitely. Yeah, it's a win-win for everybody.
It is.
Okay, so let's move on to a word that often goes hand in hand with enjoying a good meal or a cup of coffee.
Washed down.
Washed down.
Washed down.
Washed down. So what does it mean to wash something down?
Well, I would imagine it has something to do with drinking
You're right.
after you eat.
Yes, exactly. Wash down simply means to drink something after you eat some food, usually to help you swallow.
Or to kind of complement the taste of the food.
Right. Okay. So you see this a lot in the reviews where people are describing having a pastry or a sandwich and then they wash it down with a nice cup of coffee or tea.
Exactly. It's a very simple phrase, but it really creates a clear picture in your mind.
Yeah, it does. Okay. So let's move on to a phrase that I'm sure everyone is familiar with. Park benches.
Park benches.
Park benches.
Park benches.
So we all know what park benches are.
We do.
Those long seats you find outdoors, usually in parks.
Mm.
But what's interesting is that in Artingly, it seems like park benches are actually part of the cafe culture.
That's right. Several reviewers talked about getting a takeaway coffee
Yeah.
and then going to a nearby park to enjoy their drink on a park bench.
It sounds lovely.
It does, especially on a nice day.
Yeah, especially in Artingly, where it seems like there's a strong connection between the cafes and the outdoor spaces.
Right.
Okay, so our next word is one that might not be so pleasant for business owners. Cut costs.
Cut costs.
Cut costs.
Cut costs.
What does it mean to cut costs?
It means to reduce your expenses so you can save money.
Right.
And unfortunately, we do see this phrase mentioned in some of the negative reviews where customers are complaining that a cafe has started using cheaper ingredients,
Yeah.
or maybe they've reduced the portion sizes,
Yeah.
all in an effort to cut costs.
Yeah, I guess it's a reminder that businesses need to find that balance between, making a profit,
Yeah,
but also maintaining the quality of their products and services.
absolutely. Okay, so let's move on to a word that evokes a sense of discovery.
Tucked away.
Tucked away.
Tucked away.
Tucked away.
What does it mean for something to be tucked away?
Well, I would imagine it has something to do with being hidden.
You're exactly right. Tucked away means hidden
Okay.
or located in a place that's not very noticeable.
Okay.
And it seems like Artingly has quite a few of these hidden gem cafes,
Yeah.
tucked away in quiet alleys or side streets.
That sounds fun. Like a little adventure. It does, yeah, it adds a bit of excitement to the cafe hopping experience.
All right, so let's talk about a type of store that has become increasingly popular in recent years. Organic grocery store.
Organic grocery store.
Organic grocery store. Organic grocery store. So what exactly is an organic grocery store?
It's basically a store that specializes in selling food that's natural and eco-friendly, often free from pesticides
Right.
and artificial ingredients.
So it seems like Artingly has at least one organic grocery store,
Okay.
and it's very popular with the health-conscious residents.
It's nice to know that people have access to those options.
Yes, it reflects a growing awareness of healthy eating and environmental consciousness.
Absolutely. Okay, so let's move on to a phrase that I think really captures the essence of a bustling cafe. Happy chatter.
Happy chatter.
Happy chatter.
Happy chat. What does that sound like to you?
Well, I imagine people talking and laughing, just having a good time. That's exactly it. Happy chatter refers to that lively sound of people talking in a friendly way.
Yeah.
And it seems like happy chatter is a pretty common soundtrack in Artingly's cafes.
Yeah.
The reviewers often mention the buzz of conversations and laughter.
Yeah, it creates that nice kind of social atmosphere.
Mm-hmm. Makes you feel like you're part of something.
It does. And finally, let's end on a word that might make you a little bit envious. Beautiful setting.
Beautiful setting.
Beautiful setting.
Beautiful setting.
So what does it mean to have a beautiful setting?
Well, it simply means that the environment is very visually pleasing
Okay.
and enjoyable to be in.
It's like a nice view.
Yeah, nice view, maybe some lush greenery,
Hmm.
charming architecture, things like that.
And several reviewers highlighted the beautiful setting of some of the cafes in Artingly.
Yeah, they really appreciated that aspect of the experience.
It sounds like Artingly is the place to be if
Oh.
you love cafes.
It does sound like a great place to visit.
Okay, so we've covered quite a few words and phrases today, all from those real customer reviews of cafes in a Thirring Lake.
Yes, we have.
And just remember, these words aren't just limited to cafes.
That's right.
You'll encounter them in all sorts of different contexts.
And all sorts of contexts.
From news articles to novels to everyday conversations.
So keep them in mind.
Yeah, keep practicing.
Yeah.
Now, let's put your knowledge to the test
Okay.
with a fun little activity
Yes.
based on those customer reviews.
All right, I'm ready.
Okay, so I'm going to describe a scenario from one of the reviews,
Okay.
and you have to guess which word or phrase from our list best fits the description.
Sounds good.
Ready to play?
Yes, bring on.
All right, so imagine you're at a popular cafe in Artingly,
Okay.
and you see a long line of people patiently waiting to place their orders.
Mm-hmm.
What word perfectly captures this scene?
That would have to be queue up.
Queue up, you got it.
Yep.
All right, let's try another one.
Okay.
You're at a tiny cafe,
Uh-huh.
and the tables are so close together
I
that you can practically hear your neighbor's conversation.
Oh, I know this one.
What phrase comes to mind?
Squashed together.
Squashed together, you got it. Okay, now imagine a cafe with a really disappointing selection of coffee drinks.
Okay.
What might a frustrated customer decide to do?
If they're not happy with the coffee options, they might just go elsewhere.
Go elsewhere, exactly.
Hmm.
Okay, let's switch gears a little bit. Picture a cafe with soft lighting, cozy seating, and friendly staff who greet you with a smile.
Okay.
What kind of atmosphere does this create?
That sounds like a welcoming atmosphere.
Welcoming atmosphere, perfect. Now imagine you've just finished a delicious pastry at a cafe.
Okay.
What might you do to complement the taste and help you swallow?
I would wash it down with a delicious cup of coffee.
You would wash it down. Excellent choice. Okay, now imagine you've grabbed a takeaway coffee
Mm-hmm.
and you want to enjoy it outdoors on a sunny day.
Okay.
Where might you go to find a comfortable place to sit?
A park bench would be the perfect spot.
Park bench. You're a natural at this. Okay.
Mhm.
Now let's imagine a cafe owner is trying to save money by using cheaper ingredients.
Uh-oh.
What might they be doing?
They're probably trying to cut costs.
Cut costs, that's right. Now imagine you're exploring Artingly
Okay.
and you stumble upon a charming cafe hidden away in a quiet alley.
Ooh.
What word would you use to describe its location?
It sounds like it's tucked away.
Tucked away. You're a vocabulary whiz. Now imagine a health-conscious individual in Artingly wants to buy some fresh organic produce.
Okay.
Where might they go shopping?
They would probably go to the organic grocery store.
Organic grocery store. Excellent. Now imagine you're sitting in a cafe, surrounded by the lively sound of people enjoying their coffee and conversations.
Okay.
What phrase best captures this ambiance?
That would be the delightful sound of happy chatter.
Happy chatter, you nailed it. And finally, picture a cafe with stunning views of the surrounding landscape.
Ooh, nice.
What would you call this picturesque environment?
That cafe definitely boasts a beautiful setting.
Beautiful setting. Fantastic. You aced this activity.
Oh.
It's clear that you've got a strong grasp of these vocabulary words and their meanings.
It was a fun way to test our knowledge.
It was fun.
Yeah.
Now get ready for a little challenge because we're going to dive into some multiple choice questions
Okay.
to test your vocabulary skills even further.
All right. Bring it on. Okay, are you ready for the first question?
Hit me with it.
All right, here we go. The cafe was so popular that people often had to blank for a table, especially during peak hours.
Ooh. Okay, let me think about this. Is it A, queue up, B, cut costs, C, wash down, or D, go elsewhere?
Take your time.
Okay, well, if the cafe is so popular, it makes sense that people would have to wait for a table.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go with A, queue up.
You are absolutely right. Queue up is the perfect fit for that sentence.
All right, 1 point for team vocabulary. Okay, what's next?
All right, here's the next one. The cafe's small size meant that customers were often blank during busy periods.
This makes me think of those cozy cafes we were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
Is it A, tucked away,
Okay.
B, squashed together, C, washed down, or D, overlooking the street?
You're on the right track. Think about that phrase we used to describe what it's like to be in a crowded cafe.
Ah, I remember squashed together.
Yes, squashed together.
Okay, 2 for 2. This is fun.
It is. All right, here's another one. The market square tends to blank on weekends, making it a prime spot for people watching from the cafe's outdoor seating area.
Okay, so this one sounds like it's talking about something lively. Is it A, go elsewhere, B, get very crowded,
Okay.
C, cut costs, or D, wash down?
Think about what happens to public spaces like a market square on weekends.
Oh, they get really busy, right? So it must be B, get very crowded.
That's exactly right. Good job. You're doing great.
All right, I'm feeling confident. Now bring on the next one.
Okay. One of the things that makes this cafe so unique is the blank displayed on the walls featuring works by local artists.
Oh, I know this one. It's A, local artwork.
That was quick, and you are absolutely correct.
Yes.
Local artwork is a great way to add some personality to a cafe.
Yeah, and to support local artists, too.
Definitely. Okay, are you ready for the next one?
Absolutely, hit me with it.
All right. She sat by the window blank as she watched the rain fall on the cobblestone street.
Okay, this one sounds very peaceful. Is it A, washing down, B, queuing up, C, sipping her cappuccino.
Mm.
Or D, going elsewhere.
But pay attention to the details. What is the woman doing while she watches the rain?
Ah, she's having a drink. She must be C, sipping her cappuccino.
Yes, you're right. That's 5 in a row.
Hmm.
Okay, here's the next one. This cafe is a popular spot among blank, who often stop by for a quick coffee and a chat before starting their day.
Okay, so this sounds like a regular crowd of people.
Mm.
Is it A, park benches,
Okay.
B, happy chatter,
Yeah.
C, residents in the area,
Yeah.
or D, coffee options?
Think about who would be most likely to visit a local cafe on a regular basis.
It would have to be people who live in the area, right? So C, residents in the area.
You are absolutely right. It's those familiar faces that really give a cafe its charm.
I agree. Okay, what's next?
Okay. The cafe's balcony blank was a highly sought-after spot, especially on sunny afternoons.
Okay, this sounds like a prime location.
Yeah.
Is it A, tucked
Yeah.
away, B, overlooking the street, C, washed down, or D, cut costs?
Consider the feature that would make a balcony desirable.
It would have to be the view, right? So the answer is B, overlooking the street.
You are amazing. That's 7 correct answers in a row.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you ready for the next one?
Yeah, bring it on.
All right. After finishing his hearty breakfast, he blanks it blank with a large glass of freshly squeezed orange juice.
This sounds like it's talking about drinking something after a meal. Is it A, washed down,
Okay.
B, tucked away, C, queued up, or D, cut costs?
Remember that phrase we talked about that means to drink something to complement a meal?
Washed down, yeah. So A, washed down.
You got it. You're a vocabulary superstar.
Awesome. All right, what's next?
Okay. The cafe is located in a blank surrounded by rolling hills and vineyards, making it a popular destination for weekend getaways.
This sounds like a really nice place. Is it A, beautiful setting,
Yeah.
B, happy chatter, C, organic grocery store,
Okay.
or D, local artwork?
Pay close attention to the descriptive words in that sentence. What kind of environment is being described?
A, beautiful setting it has to be.
That's right. You have a keen eye for detail.
All right, what's next?
Okay. Unable to find a table inside, they decided to take their coffees to one of the blank in the nearby park.
Ooh, I know this one. Is it A, park benches, B, organic grocery stores, C, coffee options,
Okay.
to D, residents in the area?
Think about where people might sit in a park.
On a bench. So A, park benches.
You're absolutely right. It seems like you've been paying attention to our vocabulary exploration.
I have. All right, what's next?
Okay. In an attempt to blank, the cafe started using pre-ground coffee, which disappointed some of their regular customers.
This sounds like a cost-saving measure gone wrong. Is it A, queue up, B, cut costs, C, tuck away,
Okay.
or D, go elsewhere?
Think about that phrase we talked about that means to reduce expenses.
Cut costs, B, cut...
Exactly. And it sounds like it wasn't a very popular decision.
Yeah, sometimes you can't cut corners.
That's true. All right. Are you ready for another one?
Yeah, hit me with it.
Okay. Unhappy with the slow service and the lack of vegetarian options, they decided to blank and try a different cafe next time.
So it sounds like they weren't very satisfied. Is it A, wash down, B, go elsewhere,
Okay.
C, queue up, or D, get very crowded?
What do you think someone might do if they're not happy with a cafe?
They would probably try a different one, right?
Well-
B, go elsewhere.
You are absolutely correct. It's all about finding the right cafe for your needs and preferences.
Yeah. All right, what's next?
Okay. The bakery was blank in a quiet residential neighborhood, making it a hidden gem known only to locals.
This one sounds like my kind of place. Is A, cut costs, B, tucked away, C, washed down,
Okay.
or D, overlooking the street?
Remember that word we talked about that means hidden or in a place that's not very easy to find?
Tucked away, B,
Yeah.
tucked away.
You nailed it. You have an excellent memory for vocabulary.
All right, what's next?
Okay. The cafe is conveniently located inside a blank, making it easy for customers to grab a coffee after doing their grocery shopping.
This sounds like a strategic business decision. Is it A, organic grocery store, B, happy chatter, C, beautiful setting,
Okay.
or D, park bench?
Think about what kind of store typically sells groceries.
A grocery store, so it has to be A, organic grocery store.
That's right. You're doing amazing. Just a few more to go.
Okay, bring it on.
All right. The cafe boasts a wide range of blank, catering to every taste, from traditional espresso drinkers to those seeking more adventurous flavors.
Ooh, this sounds like my kind of place. Is it A, coffee options, B, beautiful setting, C, happy chatters, or D, residents in the area?
Think about what a cafe that caters to a variety of tastes would offer.
It would have lots of different types of drinks. So
Yeah.
A, Coffee options.
That's right. The more choices, the better.
All right, what's next?
Okay. The cafe was buzzing with blank as friends and colleagues caught up over coffee and pastries.
This one sounds lively. Is it A, park benches, B, welcoming atmospheres, C, happy chatters?
Okay. Or D, organic grocery stores.
Remember that phrase we talked about that describes the sound of people having lively and friendly conversations?
Happy chatter C, happy chatter.
Yes, you got it. You're unstoppable.
All right, last one.
Okay, here's the final challenge. The cafe's blank was enhanced by its soft lighting, comfortable armchairs, and the aroma of freshly baked goods.
This sounds like my kind of place. Is it A, happy chatter,
Mm-hmm.
B, coffee option, C, welcoming atmosphere,
Okay.
or D, park bench?
Remember that word we used to describe a place that feels friendly and inviting?
Welcoming atmosphere. C, welcoming atmosphere.
That's right. You did it. You answered every question correctly.
Woohoo! High five. I'm pretty proud of myself right now.
As you should be. You've demonstrated a really impressive understanding of vocabulary.
This was really fun.
It was.
It's such a good way to learn new words.
It is. And remember, everyone, the more you expose yourself to new vocabulary, the better you'll become at reading and communicating. Yeah. Absolutely. And for those of you who are preparing for the IELTS exam, we have a little bonus challenge for you today.
We're going to give you a sneak peek at a real IELTS reading passage that's all about cafes.
So as you read through the passage, see if you can spot any of the words and phrases that we talked about today.
It's a great way to see how these words are used in context and to test your understanding.
And you can find a link to that IELTS passage on our website.
Yes.
So be sure to check it out.
It's interesting, isn't it, how just a few carefully chosen words can create such a vivid picture of a place.
They really can.
Just from these reviews, we've really gotten a sense of what the cafe culture is like in Artingly. The bustling crowds, the cozy corners, that dedication to local art and organic food.
It makes you want to go there.
I know. I'm adding Artingly to my travel list for sure.
Me too.
But even if we can't hop on a plane right away, we can still experience it through the power of language.
That's the beauty of words.
It is. They can transport us anywhere.
Yeah, absolutely. So keep exploring, keep learning, and keep diving deep into the fascinating world of vocabulary.
And on that note,
on
the occasion of our Tet 2025's holidays in Vietnam, we wish you and your families all the best.
See you all in the next episode. Happy learning, everyone.